Not that you need my help blowing it. Roll it, fellas. This is earnest. I'm gonna die.
Give me a hug.
You are gonna love this. Hello, and welcome to Wretched. My name is Todd Friel. I am your host, the wretch the song refers to. It don't matter what age you are, it only takes one misstep, and your life could be ruined. Johnny P., that's what I call him because we're so close and I can't pronounce his last name, offering 10 ways somebody in their 20s can really biff it and have lingering regrets. But you don't need to be in your 20s. This is true for any of us. And that is why, in my estimation, the Psalms, not just the Proverbs, but the Psalms start out with a warning to be wise. The psalmist, recognizing that we are so easily tempted to go astray and not follow the path of wisdom, but take the road of foolishness, just like the author of Proverbs describes, he kicks it off with a warning. You stay on this road, good things happen. You take a step on that road, and you could end up in a serious ditch. And that is the problem, especially for you, my young friend. You try to have a foot on both roads. My parents want me to walk the road of wisdom, so I'm going to put one foot there, but when they're not looking around, or at least in my brain, I'm just going to put maybe just a little piggy on the road of foolishness over there. You would like to think that's going to be safe. It is not. Because inevitably, you're going to do the splits, you're going to be torn apart. And here's the reality of the situation. That thinking is a mere delusion. If you have one foot on the road of foolishness, you think you really have both feet there. That is the delusion many of us suffer from. We think, well, we're just not as bad. We're not like those rascals in my class. I just once in a while. No. You got both feet firmly planted on the road to foolishness. Let us take Johnny P's advice and look at 10 ways you can ruin your life. Frankly, not that you need my help, because we are inclined to be foolish and to make decisions and to do things that just trash the path that we should be on. As we take a look at this list from Johnny P., man, might I beg you, like the author of Proverbs, begging a son, please listen to me. Please don't reject this wisdom. Commit to firmly planting both feet on the road to wisdom so you don't ruin your life. Here is one way you can do that. Believe that ideas don't have consequences. It's just stuff. It's just thinking. It's just beliefs. It doesn't really matter. This is a tragic error because all worldviews have consequences. All thoughts have end games to them. God's way of thinking will end up with what? Peace and joy and all kinds of blessings. Shalom. That is what comes from God's ideas. Problem is, all the other ideas, they're Satan's ideas. Where do they end up? Death, destruction. You have joy stolen from you. Make no mistake about this. Young or old, ideas have consequences, and we see this in the daily news. We see this in the political realm. Politicians, they make decisions, and you go, what's up with that? And the answer is ideas. Nobody makes decisions without something behind them. There's always something that is informing. Am I going to go left or am I going to go right? And it doesn't matter what it is. This is in the realm even often of science. We take data, we take information, and we are determined to interpret it. But how do we do that? With an idea. We all have presuppositions. We all have underlying beliefs. And those beliefs are never an island. They don't stand alone. They inform how our hands work, where our feet take us, how we use our mouths, and how we contemplate things in our brains. Don't be deceived. Ideas aren't just, ideas. Another way to ruin your life in your 20s or not, live outside your means. This one's really hard because there's a lot of really nice stuff, and a lot of other people are enjoying all kinds of toys. Yes, you qualified for a bigger home. Yes, you could have a larger mortgage. This is some proverbial wisdom. If you want to ruin your life in your 20s or 30s, 40s, 50s, doesn't make any difference, push it right to the end. Just get right there, because that way, when something bad happens, and it will, you won't be ready for it, and your life will be wrecked. Doesn't that sound, foolish? Have a set budget that isn't ready to break your bank. I know you think that you're going to get the promotion. You think that you're going to get the transfer. You think that you're going to get the commission or the bonus. And you might, but does it hurt if you do and you're still living well within your means? You just got yourself some extra cash. If, however, it doesn't come through, you could be devastated. You ever had a phone call from a creditor? Those people tend to not be as warm and friendly as, say, your grandparents. They tend to be a little bit annoyed because they want their money, and they will wreck your life. Scratch that. You will have ruined your life if you don't live within your means. Is this easy to do? No, and that is why you need to make a determination right now. Which road are you going to go down? Which one is it going to be? Don't think, well, I'm trying. That doesn't cut it. Get on the road to wisdom, or you will ruin your life. When we return, you're doing the math. 8 more ways, 20, 30, don't make no difference. Ways that you can ruin your life. Next on Wretched.
The subject of health insurance can be maddening, but now there is an affordable alternative to health insurance. Medishare, serving over 400,000 Christians who are saving $500 per month on average. $4 billion in medical health costs have been shared. They can take care of you too. Please consider Medishare as your affordable alternative to health insurance. Medishare.com/wretched.
Did you know, of course you didn't because I haven't told you yet, that Road Trip to Truth is actually going to air on over 130 Christian stations and networks around the world. We can only do these sorts of programs and outreaches because of the support of our gospel partners, and I would like to encourage you to become one of them. The more people give, the more we can do. The more people give, the more we can give away on university campuses, social media. We want kids to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, get saved, and become sane. And as an aside, not want to kill themselves. Would you please join us in this rather massive effort? Become a gospel partner at wretched.org/donate.
Every day, countless women feel pressure from a loved one or from a society that tells them what is in their womb is not their own child until they visit a preborn center. A $28 ultrasound shows a mommy what is in her womb is her own child, and 80% of the time she chooses life. Please save a life at preborn.org/wretched.
Welcome back to Wretched. So, you're a wise guy, aren't you? That's very good. The wise person would say, all right, skinny fella, you got some Bible verses to back up those 10 ways a 20-year-old can ruin their life? I am so glad you asked. If anybody gives you advice at any period in your life, you would do well to ask, says who? What's your source of authority on that? If you're just sharing with me information, whether it came from a fortune cookie or Oprah Winfrey, frequently one and the same, you would do well to understand who's the authority here. Why should you listen to anybody? And the answer is, well, you shouldn't unless they've got some objective authority behind it. And the only authority behind any thought or idea is God Himself. At least good and right ideas. If you recall, the first way to ruin your life, ideas have consequences. Here's the verse to support that. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. Number 2 way to wreck your life, the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. Live outside your means and you will be living the life of a fool. But there are more ways to ruin your life, all supported by the wisest book ever. The book of Proverbs, written by the wisest man ever. And you, my young friend, I know, I'm Karen. You, my young friend, would do well not to take my advice, but to heed Solomon's wisdom, which was divinely inspired. Third way you can ruin your life, feed an addiction, the Proverbs say. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. Addictions, kind of a medical term that we love to use as if these things are out of our control. No, sadly, we step right into the trap. Oh yeah, does it grab us by the ankle and keep us tied down? Yeah, but we had to put our foot into the trap before it could snare us. Addictions, if you like, will grab you, and they do it subtly. An addiction doesn't come knocking. It doesn't blare a trumpet before arriving. Hey, coming to get you. Just keep imbibing, and you're going to be a drunk pretty soon. So just to let you know, I'm coming. Never does that. Watch out for things that can snare you. Number 4 from Jonathan Pokluda. Run with fools, the Proverbs say. Walk with the wise, you'll become wise. For a companion of fools suffers harm. That would be your Proverbs 13. Not the first time we run into this wise saying. Scoot on back to Proverbs chapter 1. There's a bit of a preamble that lets us know the Proverbs aren't airtight laws. In other words, if you always do this, then that will always happen. Instead, general principles. If you obey these, overall, life is going to go well, but that's just a few verses. Then the wise father, if you will, rhetorically gets on his knees and begs the son, listen to me. What would be the first piece of advice that you would offer a young person to keep their feet from getting trapped in a snare? Most likely you're thinking, probably sex stuff. Nope. He gets there and he warns the son, look out for that wanton woman in the street who calls you. She's so alluring. She has her bed linens freshened up and perfumed. Oh, she's so tempting. But that comes after friends. Really? Who you choose to hang with will lead you to places that are either high and lofty or low and tawdry. Choose your friends wisely. If you don't, you're going to go tumbling down. You can deceive yourself because it's cool to hang out with the cool people. It's more fun to hang out with the fun people. It's better to hang out with the wise guy, the genuinely smart kid who has some biblical wisdom, who is godly, who maybe doesn't make you laugh as much or want to go do things that the world perceives as fun, but I guarantee you, you start hanging with that kid and your life is going to go better. Yes, you might have some temporary fun with the cool crowd, but your life will be on a better trajectory based on choosing godly friends. Be wise in the friends you choose. Another way to biff it for life, carelessly give your heart away, the Proverbs say. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You're probably thinking, this goes back to the romance thing again. Not necessarily. What is it your heart is inclined to love. If it ain't Jesus, you're probably loving something that isn't all that good for you. Now, don't get me wrong. We can desire to be married. We can desire to have kids. Those are all fine things. We're talking about idols here. It's the stuff, man, I just gotta have, and then I'll be happy. Congratulations, you will prove what John Calvin rightly said when he cleverly stated, idols always break the hearts of their worshipers. You give your heart to an idol, it is going to shatter it in a million pieces. It cannot deliver on the promise of being worshiped. Nothing can but God. Guard your heart. Don't give it away to idols or wanton women. When we return, more ways you can wreck your life, and then the key to not biffing it next on Wretched.
Welcome to one of the amazing Tomorrow Clubs in Eastern Europe, where poor kids in poor places gather to hear the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ, led by Paul Marty.
God has already done so much through our partnership with Wretched. Thousands of kids reached for Christ, so many lives changed, but the best is yet to come. And as we look toward 2021, we want to invite the Wretched audience to join us once again.
I hope you'll do that at tomorrowclubs.org/wretched. I'll be needing to see some identification, young man.
Why?
Because you, my friend, are a lawbreaker.
No, I'm not.
You are, according to this video from Ray Comfort Production.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, he asked me to become a gospel partner, and he took my credit card.
Welcome back to Wretched, and now a dramatic recreation of something nobody has ever said ever upon waking up in the morning. I think today I'm going to do everything I possibly can to trash my life. Not once has anybody planned to totally destroy their lives, and that is why the Bible calls sin the deceitfulness of sin. You think you're doing okay, but if your feet aren't firmly planted on the road to wisdom, you are on the road of foolishness to destruction. Do not be deceived. If you are not doing it God's way, you are trashing your life. Even if you're experiencing some temporary fun, it is not the joy that God wants you to have. The Jews used a word, shalom. It wasn't mere happiness. Woohoo, I get to go do a fun thing tonight with my homies. Is that still a contemporary word? Shalom was all about an inner settled blessedness. It's good. It is well with my soul, not just with my body parts. No, my soul is settled. I'm at peace. I am a man, I am a woman who has inner joy no matter what I'm doing on the outside. Jonathan Pokluda offering 10 ways you can ruin your life in your 20s or 70s for that matter, all taken from the Book of Wisdom. We would all do well to heed it. This would be the 6th way you can ruin your life. Tolerate evil, the Proverbs say. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior, and perverse speech. You are thinking, oh, you mean like dropping a bomb on a city or raping women? Yeah, that's evil. Now look at this right here. Pride, arrogance, evil behavior, nasty speech. Those are the things that God esteems as evil. Oh yeah, the other things are evil too, but his standard is higher than ours, and he hates those things. And when we kind of pretend they're not so bad, or we do not set ourselves against them, in a sense, we are for them, and life will not go well. Raise your standards. Number 7, make secondary things ultimate and ultimate things secondary. Say what? Proverbs say, keep falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, who's the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal and so dishonor the name of my God. Be honest. Is there anybody who doesn't think, at least somewhere along the road of life, it sure would be nice to be rich? It sure would be nice to have a huge house. It sure would be nice to live like the Kardashians. Okay, maybe somebody has said that along the way. Careful what you wish for, because when we get everything that our little corrupt hearts desire, there's no room for God there. You have chosen the lesser thing. Be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you strive for. There's nothing wrong going to university, gaining a skill so that you can earn an income, so that you can spend it not just on necessities, but on some things that you can enjoy, because God allows those things. But when it's your heart's desire to become rich, you're just working and striving so that you can live the high life. You've actually chosen the low life. Number 8, believe that this life, it's all about you. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. This one is tough, isn't it? Because I don't know about you, but I love me some me. I love my life. I love what I do. I am primarily concerned about moi, and you are too. It's just our fallen, corrupt DNA that desires to put me in front of everything. When that happens, get ready. Whoop, down you go, because that is not the way the universe operates, because that's not the way that God operates. Consider Philippians 2, Jesus Christ. He should have always been first in line. He should have always been the preeminent one. What did he do? He got to the back of the line. He humbled himself to the point of death unto a cross. That is what pleases God. God sees the line that the world creates. The tall, the handsome, the rich, the athletic, the beautiful, the gorgeous, they're at front. And then it descends down to the, well, not so popular, the not so gifted, the not so beautiful. And the world esteems these people as the best. God just flips that line. God loves the humble. He resists the proud. So be careful where you put yourself in the queue of life. Number 9, live for immediate gratification. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but the fool gulps theirs down. If it's going to be quick fun, careful. You could be violating this proverb. There are things, they want you now, man. They want to just grab you and get you and cause you to consume it quick. Whenever that offer comes your way, be careful. You might be taking the road of the fool. And finally, number 10, avoid accountability. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. Do you like to be told what to do? Neither do I. And that means when that happens, I'm being stupid. The stupid person doesn't want to be corrected. The stupid person thinks, I know everything. I've got this. What do you know? I am being nothing but stupid, and I'm headed toward destruction. Those are merely 10 ways that any of us can ruin our lives. Oh, there are more ways in the Proverbs, but those are just 10 to help us understand. I need to rethink this thing, and that is our key. This will come as no surprise, because this is the very first thing I encouraged you to do as we look through the Proverbs. Make a decision. Choose now. What is the better thing? Is it temporary, fleeting fun, or is it the eternal things of God Himself? This is an absolute no-brainer. The good God who created heaven and earth and you, who sent His Son to die for you, says, choose wisely. Who are you going to serve this day? This isn't hard. Do you want God things, or do you want the foolish things? commit today. I want to run after God. I want to enjoy the things that He knows are good for me. I am going to reject foolish things. I am going to mortify those desires and choose the wise things this day. And you will start down the path of wisdom and joy. Surprise, next on Wretched.
Training English speakers to be foreign missionaries is expensive and difficult.
You're going to spend 7 or 8 years learning Chinese, and then you're going to have to figure out how to preach effectively in Chinese, and you're going to have to kind of work your way into the culture. That is a very, very challenging thing.
The Masters Academy International trains indigenous men to rightly divide the word of truth, return to their countries, and fill empty pulpits. Learn more about the Masters Academy at wretched.org/pastor.
Welcome back to a Wretched Italian surprise. Before you watch this short clip from Sicily, 3 things you need to know. Number 1, the fellow on the right in the red shirt is my buddy Johnny Gravino. He heads up the Masters Academy International in Sicily, equipping men to practice good biblical hermeneutics and rightly divide the word of truth.
Tu vai proprio a profondo a studiare la Bibbia, prendere passo per passo, testo per testo, versetto per versetto, e vedi realmente quello che il Signore ti vuole esporre. Invece di dare una lettura superficiale in questo modo, riesci davvero ad andare a profondo di quello che dice la parola.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity, Italians, to be able to be trained in our own language in our own country. Thank you, Todd.
Love that guy. Johnny Gravino, just one of 16 locations around the globe, training men to fill pulpits to rightly preach the Bible. The Masters Academy International, outstanding ministry, led by Dr. John MacArthur and so many more men trained at the Masters Seminary who are training men around the globe to be pastors who preach correctly. Would you please consider supporting this ministry? The Masters Academy International, it's a small investment for ongoing benefits, equipping a pastor to feed the sheep for decades. It has a massive impact. Could you possibly support the Masters Academy International, maybe even on a regular basis? Please visit wretched.org/pastor, wretched.org/pastor. Let's fill empty pulpits with good preachers. And until tomorrow, go serve your King.
Congratulations to Linda Strom. You're the winner of today's free download, Christian Liberty. You could win free stuff too if you sign up for the free Wretched newsletter at wretched.org. Wretched, amazing grace.